Hello guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Will and I am the founder and CEO of RAM Solutions. RAM Solutions is a company that is based in Costa Rica. We have here our operations center, but we have offices established in Florida, US. We provide services to global clients around different countries, Canada, US, Central America, South America, etc. Okay, so our two main services are the first one, recruitment. We provide the staff augmentation, recruitment services, permanent placement, HR consulting, etc. And our other business unit is automation. We mostly all our automations developed nowadays are primarily created in Power Automate Desktop. And today we are going to build a robot that is going to interact with one of our programs that we recently acquired. I'm going to explain this better in a few seconds, so please stay tuned. And meanwhile, subscribe to the channel and give a thumbs up. All right, well, thank you, stay tuned, and we are about to start. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Will. Right now, this is the session number 1. We are going to go over the process itself that we are going to automate in this training. So basically, as I mentioned at the beginning, we are a company that provides recruitment and automation solutions, right? So there is one of our clients that is requiring right now a lot of resources, specifically customer service resources. So, as part of the growing of the company, we have acquired recently a program or an application named JAZZHR. JAZZHR is an ATS. What is an ATS? Well, basically stands for Applicant Tracking System, and this program allows us to do a lot of stuff. It is super useful. It is an awesome program. So for any company that is looking for a program similar to this one, this is probably the best option out there. Long story short, the recruiters have created the position for the customer service rep position, and I messed up. All right, I disabled an option which was allowing the candidates to upload the resume correctly. When I disabled that option, I don't know why, but I enabled another one. So instead of getting the resumes from the candidates, we are getting a document. It is the same file, but I'm going to explain to you right now how this should look. Okay, so we are going to open this first candidate profile that we have here. And what is awesome about this tool is when you have a candidate profile opened, you have on the first tab the profile. And the profile basically is the resume that the candidates uploaded when they submit their application. All right. And I don't know if you can see this, but we are getting a message that says there is no resume associated with this candidate. Again, that's because I disabled that option and enable another one. So by enabling the other option, the candidates were uploading, because I already realized that and fixed that out, but I need to process like 70 plus candidates and make a change and download this document, which is the current resume, and upload and update the resume in this option just by clicking and choosing the file. So the process for the robot that we are going to build, well, this window that we are seeing, this is Chrome. So the process for the robot will be to attach to Chrome, then extract all the data from this table, in which we have 86 new applicants, and then the robot needs to go one applicant at a time. We are going to use a for each action, and then on the final steps, the robot will be downloading the file and uploading the file correctly, and then moving forward to the next candidate. That's basically what we are going to automate right now. So this is the end of the session number 1, which was the process. Now let's move to the session number 2. Okay, so let's start the session number 2. At this moment, we are going to start building the solution. So what we are going to build first will be a few steps for the robot to attach to the Chrome web base that is already open, right? And extract all the URLs that are on the tab new on the JAZZHR application. Okay, so the first action that we are going to use is the action name launch new Chrome. We can double click on this action or just drag and drop. Okay, this action says launch new Chrome, and the first option or the launch mode is to launch a new instance, which there is no need at this moment because it is already open, but we can attach to this running instance right now. So that's the option that we are going to use. And I really like to use the by title option to attach to those any Chrome tab. And then if we click that drop down, it is going to take a couple of seconds, but it's going to share all the tabs that you have already open in Chrome. And we are going to select the first one that we have here, customer service rep for Costa Rica, JAZZHR. So it's the same tab that we have open on Chrome. And this is the variable that is going to be produced by this action. Click on save, and this is the first action that we have. Now we need to extract the data that we have here on this table on the left side of my screen. Now there are multiple ways to create a solution, right? But we are looking here more about efficiency, right? Like be really efficient on what we do. And the best way right now, and one of the advantages that we have, is that JAZZHR interface is really helpful. It integrates really nicely with Power Automate Desktop, and is going to allow us to get all the URLs for each candidate that we have on this page, that there is a total of 86. Okay, so the next action that we are going to use, if we need to extract the data, we need an action that probably is going to start with extraction. We are going to type extraction on this box, and we are going to see a lot of these actions here. So the first action for web data extraction that we have is extract data from web page. So let's double click on that one. And by clicking on that one, it says extract data from specific parts, but the most important is that bringing an actual web browser window to the foreground will, while this dialog is open, will activate the live web helper. So this is super useful. So what we are going to do is to move this here and just click over this tab on Chrome. So it will take us a couple of seconds, but it's going to activate the actions on Power Automate Desktop, and we are going to be able to extract the data from this table. Okay, so yeah, there you have it. At this moment, we have the live web helper to extract all the data that we need, right? There are a lot of elements here that are being detected by Power Automate Desktop. So this is really helpful. There are some times in which you don't find any element detected. Those kind of scenarios is going to be a little bit tricky. There is always a possibility to be able to tackle that automation, but it's going to take more time. In this moment, we can select specifically everything, extract everything from this window. So we are going to hover our mouse over the first candidate name. There is like a rectangular red sign that says anchored, and we are going to do a right click here. Okay, and it's going to display this menu which has a lot of options, but we are going to go over the first one that has a menu that is going to be displayed on the right, and we are going to extract specifically the third option. This third option is the URL linked to that candidate. So that's specifically the value that we need right now. We are going to click over that option, and we have that already extracted our first URL. Okay, but we need to extract all the URLs from all the tables. So the easiest way to do this is by doing the same over the next candidate. So as you can see, there is a red rectangle around the name of the resource. We are going to right click over that resource. We're going to follow the same steps and hover over the extract element value option, which is the option at the top. If we do that, we are going to display the menu, and we are going to select the third option, which is the URL. Okay, so magically, so to speak, the program recognized that I want to extract the URL for the first candidate of this table and the second URL of the second candidate of this table. So he understands that my interest right now is in only the URLs from all the tables, and that's why he extracts all the URLs. As you can see, it says that it can only display the 21st, but if we go down, we can see all the URLs that we have at this moment. So we are going to click finish. Okay, perfect. And now in our action, all those URLs are going to be saved into the data from web page variable. And remember, variables are like tiny little boxes, and what this action is doing is extracting 80 plus URLs and putting all those URLs into a tiny box. That tiny box is named data from web page. That's the variable name, and the variable produced right now. We are going to click save, and we are going to run at this moment our robot to make sure that we are getting all the URLs that we need. Let's click on run, and it's going to take a couple of seconds, but once it starts, the first action is going to attach to Chrome, and then the second action is going to extract all the rows out of the table that we have on Chrome from the JAZZHR application program. We are going to open the variable or the tiny box. We are going to double click here. If you don't see this option variable, it's because it's probably it was closed. So you only have to hover here and click over the X that has the brackets, and it says variable. And we are going to click over the variable data from web page. And remember that all the tables and all the lists on Power Automate Desktop are zero based. That means that all the lists are always with 0. Okay, so we have from here 81 plus the 0, 82 URLs that were extracted successfully. Then I'm going to review and check why out of those 86 that it said, so we are only getting 82, right? For now, let's close this, and we are going to be developing now the second part of the robot. Right now we have completed the first part, which was attached to Chrome and then extract the data from the web page. So let's move to the other part of the development process. Okay, so this is the step number 2 out of the session number 2. Okay, in the first session, or the first steps that we have already built, we use the first action that we have here on Power Automate Desktop, which we are using this action to attach Power Automate to Chrome, all right, which is going to create a browser instance variable. This variable then is being used into the second option named extract data from web page. If you don't remember this, we are extracting the list of URLs out of the application name JAZZHR to get all the URLs that we require for this process, which is a total right now that 86 URLs. Now we are going to move forward and continue developing the solution. So for the next step, we are going for each action. You can just click here in the search action box for each, and there you have it at the top. It is part of the group named loops, and we are going to drag and drop the action here. Remember that Power Automate Desktop and basically any RPA platform is like play with Legos, right? You only have to use and build a robot using small pieces, in this case actions, to create a beautiful and seamless solution. So for each action, the idea of this action is to iterate over the whole list of URL that we have obtained out of the action number 2. So it says that value to iterate. We are going to double click on this X between brackets, double click to select variable, and we are going to double click the the variable that says data from web page. This is the variable output from the action number 2. We are going to double click on that, and remember that we have a whole list of 86 URLs, and what this for each action does is that for each time that is going to run, so in this case we have 86, 82 URLs, out of this is going to loop 80 plus times, and every single time that it runs or does this loop, the URL or one of the URLs is going to be stored into the variable name current item. Now let's click save. Okay, and we are going to use variable name display message. This action, not a variable, this is an action name, displays message, which is part of the group name message boxes. I really like to use this displays message action to showcase the output out of the variables that we are testing, and also to give some motivation. So from time to time I put here a message that says you rock. So if everything goes well, usually I get this message as a self-motivation for every time that I'm building or I'm testing or I'm doing everything. So we can leave that message there. And the message to display, we want to showcase or to show the URL that is going to be saved into the current item variable. So let's click on that one. On the message box title, I always go by hi user, and I really like to create like a small happy robot face. Okay, pretty much all my solutions that use these kind of messages provides this same message box title to the users. What else? Hmm. Okay, let's go enable this one. So that means that every time that it runs, it's going to showcase the URL at the same way of the message that says you rock, and it will be on the top, right? If you don't enable this one, it will be appearing somewhere on your screen, but if you enable this one, it will be always up the top of any screen that you may have. And let's take a quick look. Message to display. Awesome. Perfect. If we don't need this variable, we can just disable this one. All right, let's run this robot as it is right now. But first, remember, you always have to save your robot. Don't wait till the end that you have the robot completed. I have suffered a lot over the last decade because I have built a solution and I totally forgot to save it, or I have advanced 50%, then advanced another 20, 30, and I forgot to save it, and I lost that date on development. So always remember to save your automation. This is probably the best tip that I can give you here. Now let's run this robot. So if it works as expected, we are going to have now the robot getting attached to Chrome, extracting all the URLs, and we are going to see a small pop-up window, right? There you have it. That is going to showcase the URLs and the message you rock. So you're following these steps, you rock, guys. You are doing awesome. This is quite simple, but I mean, you need to understand which action to use. There are a ton of actions here, and there are some really valuable. I haven't used some of this action, but this one that I'm showcasing right now, this one has really good actions to work with. Now if I click here or just press enter, it's going to do a loop and then do another loop, and so far and so on for all the 82 rows that we have here. Okay, so this is great. So right now we have complete the steps of the second part. We are going to move now to the third part of the development, and right now what we are going to do on this part is to make the robot work and open these URLs, every URL into Chrome. Okay, so I'm going to stop this, and we are going to move now to the third part of the development of the session number 2. Okay, perfect. So now let's continue developing this solution. At this moment we have basically 4 actions, 5 technically, but we have built and created and used 4 actions right now. The next step is open at this moment, and when we get the URL, instead of showcasing the URL with the action displays message, we are going to upload that message on Chrome. So we are going to use the action go to web here, and well, the browser is already defined always by default. He needs to navigate to an URL, and which URL are we going to use? Well, the URL that is contained into the variable or tiny box named current item. We are double click on that. Let's check advanced. Okay, those are settings are by default. Perfect. So this is the process that the robot is going to do now. He's going to get attached to Chrome, get the whole list of URLs, and then he's going to go to that specific URL. And that's basically what we need at this moment. So let's do a process similar of what the process the robot is going to do eventually. But for now, to avoid losing all the information that we have here, we're going to open this first URL or this first candidate profile into the Chrome. So that's how this is going to look when the robot goes to this web page. Once he goes here, he should be looking for this text. If we are going to use, yeah, it worked, even if I didn't type this correctly. So on the browser information, we are going to use this kind of logic. It's going to be an if statement. So we are going to drag and drop this action here. The browser is by default. We are going to select this, that if the window contains an element, we have the drop down here has different options. Right now we are going to use this specific action that says contains text, just to make it simple. The simple the better. So we are looking to that specific. There is no resume. Actually, we can only use this, or we could be using no resume. We are going to copy that. We are going to paste it here and click save. Okay, so again, the robot is going to get attached to Chrome, get the whole list of URLs, then interact with each URL found into Chrome. He's going to open that URL on a different, well, on the same window actually. And then once he has that window open, this action is going to look over the new window if the keyword there is no resume, as it is highlighted here, appears. If this keyword appears, this is the trigger that will let the process, the robot know that he needs to continue to the next stage of the process, right? If not, if that keyword doesn't appear, he will use the else action to understand, well, there is no need for me to come here. I only need to move forward to the next URL. Okay, so we are going to drag and drop this here. Let's do some minor changes, like delete this. I will love the see every single time that it does the work perfectly to the message you rock. It is a really good practice for self-motivation. And let me check what else. Okay, we have if there is no resume here. So if there is no resume, he needs to click on this link for the document. So we are going to use the action click web browser, click link on web page. Okay, now we are going to click in here, in which we don't have any UI element defined at this moment. UI stands for user interface. So out of this user interface that we are seeing, we are going to download this document, but the robot needs to click on that option. Okay, let's um, hop over this option here. We are going to press the to select it. Or to pick any UI element, you need to press the key Control and the left button of the mouse. Perfect. Now we have it. Let's take a look. As default, it always appears at send physical click. I don't really like this option because I mean he will be doing like a really physical click of the mouse. So if the window, the Chrome window is minimized, he is not going to be able to do it. So I usually disable this, but there are some windows from time to time that strictly required to have the send physical click option enabled. Okay, we have already disabled this and we are going to test that out. Let's click save. What else? Let's do the process manually. Click here and all right, the file is downloaded by itself once click and it is downloaded into this folder. Okay, so here we have the file that has been recently downloaded. So what we are going to do is to make the robot look for a specific PDF document into this folder path. Okay. Okay, but first let's test the solution as it is right now, and then we can continue on the stage number 4 of the session number 2 of this robot development. Let's close this for now. Let's just save the solution as it is at this moment. Always remember to save your development to avoid any kind of loss. And click Okay, let's review this for a second because the robot will be clicking this option, this UI element, right, that we saw previously, but that could change from every user to another. From one URL to another, this element could be changing. So if we come here to this option in the middle on the top left, top right, there is the UI elements. Let's click on that option. We can see the only option that we have at this moment. Let's open that option. Let's double click on that. Okay, and it says text inbound. So this is going to cause a few troubles. So we are going to do a little bit of minor changes here to avoid this situation. So prior to move forward, let's open again this candidate profile. We have the same element. If I test the element, we can do this on this tiny small bottle that we can see here. If I click on that, the web browser for Chrome will be showing this option. We need to select the window that we want to make sure that the robot is testing, and then just click OK. So if you see, it says default selector. It was like a small test. The default selector is working, but the situation that we may have is that he's looking specifically for this file name with that all those characters and number and everything, and that is going to cause any trouble, and I will show you why. Let's close this tab And let's open the second profile that we have here on our JAZZHR application, JAZZHR application. This one has a different name. The document is totally different. Let's close the window, and if we test this option right now, the web tab was not able to be found. So let's take a look at that. Okay, let's go. All right, perfect. So yeah, the robot cannot find this profile, neither the file, because it is totally different. So in those cases, what we are going to do right now is capture this second document UI element. Just press Ctrl and left click on it. Now we should be having, yeah. All right, and let's open that window. Okay, deep text is equal to PDF. If we do a test here, we are going to be able to make it work, but it is only going to work with the second option that has the candidate name. Okay, we are testing this selector. Perfect, it's working. However, this is not going to work on the long run, because it is changing for all the person that we have here. So usually in those cases, what we have to do is disable this option. I'm going to do this from scratch. Just go here, open the last selector that we have just found. We are going to go till the bottom of the option for the anchor. And if we go to the bottom of this, we have the option selected text. We are going to remove that option, and we are going to select this one that says original. So we are going to see if this is in effect the ordinal number is equal to 0. If it is, the robot is going to be able to interact or work with all the URLs and all the documents that he founds. If not, we are going to have to do a little bit more of changes into our code. Let's see if he is able. Yeah, perfect. He was able to find the selector. So this means that the JAZZHR can decipher document item. The only option that is one that we have is the number 0. So that means that we have already our selector capable to work with all the URLs that we are going to use for this development. So let's click save. The other one can be deleted because it's not going to be used, and if we don't delete it, we can get confused. And part of the best actions that we have is to rename this anchor. Rename this anchor as, could be like a document to be click. Now we have it here, click link on web page. Where will the document to be clicked, which is this one. All right, so let's close this one and let's do a small test before we can move forward to the step number 4 of the session number 2. So let's save the robot. And while the robot is being saved, I'm going to copy this just to have it, so we can reload this page later. Okay, so this click link has to be done here. Perfect. So let's run the robot now. And let's stop the robot there. We are going to do this only for 2 URL candidates because we still need to get the files. The file is going to be saved, but we need to get that file and upload it into Jazz. So the robot is open. Okay. So he has done just one, actually 2 runs. He didn't recognize this first auction. So let's stop the robot. Let's Okay, so now we have more resumes, so the role is going to have more work. Okay, let's continue. So let's check quickly if web page contains, there is no resume. Okay. Let's click the ribbon here. So again, he is going to get attached to Chrome, extract all the URLs. He will be looping every URL at a time using the for each action. So this is the first URL. So right now he should be reading like if this web page contains this keyword. Let's see if he recognized that. Yeah, he's recognized that this option is on the screen. So now he's going to click. Yep, we can see this is highlighting on yellow and we are downloading that file. Then the message is going to be displayed. You rock. Let's click on this one and let's move to the second URL. Remember that all that list is contained into the data from web page variable, and now the robot is just looping one URL at a time. So this is the first URL that he has on the list. Let's move to the second URL, which is this one. Perfect. Let's review if there is no resume correctly. The robot has found that there is no resume here. Let's click. Okay, let's click in allow. That option is going to appear just once. And perfect. He has now downloaded those 2 files successfully. But remember that we don't want to download only the files. We want that for every candidate he downloads the file and then he uploads the file. But we are going to do this in a few seconds. So right now let's stop this puppy and we are done. But we are going to continue and build the other actions. So stay tuned. Okay, so I'm just trying to speed up things here with the development. So I have added a few more actions to the Power Automate desktop developer interface. So what we have here, starting from action number 10, is an attached to Chrome action. Okay, this action is going to allow the robot to attach to Chrome. And what I'm getting next on the action number 11 is that as part of the process, the robot needs to remember that the robot needs to go one URL for each candidate at a time, and then click on the document name, right? And that file will be downloaded automatically into the folder that we have at the right of the screen. Then we need to use that file and upload it using this button here that says update recipe. Now, to update this file, we need to make sure that the previous file was already is already in the folder. So in that case, we are using the action number 13. This is where the action is located right now, but we are going to move all these actions that we have here. We are going to move them up here. Okay? Actually, only action number 11 and action number 13. But again, instead of running the whole process, the whole automation, we are going to only test the robot to click on the document that we have here and get the name that we have here out of the documents, and just validate that that file has been downloaded and moved automatically to this folder. Okay, so let me just go one action at a time real quick, especially action number 11, because we have already covered action 10 and action 12 here above. But let me go over action number 11. So remember that this action number 6, the robot is clicking over the document name or document file that we have on the JAZZHR application. But to make sure that we receive the correct file, we are going to extract the own text that this UI element that we have here. We are going to extract that own text of that UI element just to make sure that we can use that later to validate that we are getting the same file, and then when we are uploading the file, we can get that file name as a reference and be able to upload them successfully. So the UI element that I'm using is the same that was captured previously. Okay, so I only use this action. The browser was set up by default, and just went here. I select this action, this selector, and just click on select, and that value is going to be saved into the variable name attribute value. Let's click on save. Then action number 12 is the same action that we have here, action number 6. And this action number 13 is a wait for file. We are using this file just to make sure that we are waiting for a file to be created in which folder? In the folder that we have on the right. And which file name? Well, the file name that we are getting out of the previous action attribute value on the action 11 get details of web page. It is pretty simple, and we are going to test this right now from here. We are going to click run from here. So we are going to basically just hop over the launch new Chrome action. We are going to perform a right click. This menu, once this menu is displayed, we can do a run from here. There are multiple shortcuts that you can use as well, but this is I prefer do it in this way for training purposes. So we are going to click from here. Let me put a small breakpoint here. As you can see, there's red dot here is a breakpoint. It is similar to what you can find on a Excel Visual Basic macro, the same type of breakpoint. Okay, now we are going to go step by step by using this button here that says run next step. So we are going to click there. Okay, so the Power Automate Desktop program was capable to get attached to the JAZZHR application on Chrome, and then the action 11 just extracted the name of the file, the name of the variable in which that file name is contained. Then that variable name is attribute value, and in here we can see that in below the flow variable section we have that variable, and if we double click on that variable we can see the value. Okay, so this is awesome. Now let's move to the next action, click. So power out of my desktop, just, or path for short, just click on the file name. The file name was downloaded as shown here at the top, and once the file is here, this action is going to validate if that file was created. And indeed the file was created, and that's why he just ended the process. So we are going to right now delete this file, and we are going to move this action here. Okay, just get the value prior to click on the file, and then wait for the file. Right now, okay, perfect. Now let's continue and let's update the next steps on the part number 5 of this section number 2, which is the development of the automation solution. Okay, so let's continue. Please stay tuned. We are going to move forward right away into that step. Okay, continue with the development of our bot to download and upload the CVs of multiple customer service rep candidates or resources that we have at this moment. I have built using the capture the step of the automation. I have used actually the recorder from Power Automate Desktop. I really like that functionality. It's really awesome, to be honest, for those that haven't done a robot from scratch like I have do probably in the past, or I have did actually. And this recorder is really useful. I have already recorded a few steps here, which basically, and just to speed up and not make this tutorial that long, which at this moment I will really appreciate your time if you are still seeing this video. I know that it's quite long, but it's because there are all these actions, all the best practices, all the functionalities that Power Automate has. I mean, I really like to explain this in deep so you can understand this better and get the better idea of how I have been building this solution for over almost a decade right now. So let me explain to you what actions do I have here. So once we have downloaded the file, that we already saw that, once we have downloaded the file, we need to upload that file. So this action that I have here is because I was using the recorder, like I just explained, and this action is getting attached to the new Chrome tab that we have opened. Then action 13, what this action is doing is just pressing a button on web page, specifically this button named update resume. I have changed some small changes to this button, okay, and I will explain to you those briefly. Let me go here over UI elements. You can see UI elements, and button update resume. I will open this option, and well, these are the number 5 selectors used to create this the selector that is going to be used by the robot to press the update resume. What changes I have made? Well, the first one, by default it comes like a selected text, and this one appears unselected. So I'm just removing this one and selecting this other one. Probably and definitely will be more common to the name to be changed just to update CV or update, I don't know, curriculum, right? That the ordinal number where this button is going to change. That's why, just to make the robot a little bit more robust right now, I'm up selecting this one and selecting this other one. In the same way, if I go to this selector, it says that the operator, right, for this ID, this attribute ID says start with. None of these usually come this way. Always come like equal to, and this was one like equal to, and it was like a huge number, something like that. The issue with this ID is that this number could change at some point. So in the same way, what I'm doing is just deleting the numbers and changing the operator that and selecting the start with. So it is much more probably that the name or just the numbers are going to change, and the value is going to rename is going to be keep it. Basically, what I'm trying to doing again is to make, by making those small changes in the selector, is make it more robust. What I usually call like a bulletproof bot, that it's kind of unbreakable. And if it is, we are going to see some of those situations eventually. And definitely I'm going to cover those best practices on my online course. Let's keep moving forward. Action 14. Action 14, what it does is just click on the button, a button name, choose file. This file is going to appear here. I haven't unchecked this and tested with this action. Let me disable this send physical click. Let me see the press button. Does this has that one? Nope, that doesn't have that action. When the robot press this button, this window appears. This is a web window. It's not a window. Because if it were a window, we should be using like a different action, but because it's part of the web, we are using the click link on web page. So the robot is going to click choose file, and once this window, now we have a window up action, and once this window is open, the bot will be filling up like the file, the whole path of the file where the file is located. All right, and then he's going to click open to upload the file. Let me close this and let's do a small test from here. And then we are going to only move action 13, 14, action 15 and 16. From 13 to 16 we are going to move those. You saw it? It didn't open. The robot was not able to open the choose file because I disabled that option. So this is kind of those web in which we need to use the send physical click. There are other methods, but for now, just to speed up and to complete the development, we are going to keep it as it is. So again, we are to right click on the action 12, which is going to display these options. We are going to click over the run from here option just to start the robot from the action number 12. Okay, he's getting attached to Chrome, clicking on the button. He's setting up the file name, which in this case is this file test, and click open. Obviously there is no file name with that name, that's why we are getting this error message that there is no file or file not found. Let's click in here. Let's click on cancel and heal. Let's more copy this through this. Let's code. Let's paste them here. So whenever you want to paste an action up another action, you need to select that action. So that's why I have selected action 13 and Control V to paste all the 4 actions that we just cut below. So as you can see, this is basically on the bot. So I will remove this action from here, and I think that that's it. Okay, so this is the part number 6 on the section number 2, which is the robot development. So we are going to move forward to the conclusion of the development, and then we are going to see the robot in action. Let's save the our robot. Remember, guys, you always have to save your robots, your scripts, your mentions, whatever document you are working on. Remember to save it. This is going to save a lot of time. Okay, perfect. So just to summarize right now, this is the robot that we have built on this section. And again, I'm going to save this just to make sure that the flow is saved. The robot is saved on Power Automate Desktop. So let's go one action at a time really quick. The first action is for the robot to get attached to Chrome. The Chrome tab in which we have all the URLs for each candidate, or actually, yeah, for each candidate that we need to review and make sure that they have their resume uploaded correctly. If not, we are going to upload these resumes manually. So action number 2 is going to extract the whole list of URLs that is going to be contained on that web page. Then action number, the for each action is self-explanatory. As I already mentioned, it's a loop, and if we have 10 URL, the robot is going to work 10 times. And if we have 90 URLs, the robot is going to work 90 times. He is going to be super focused and he is going to be he will be trying to complete the task, because that's the reason why we are building the solution, and he will try to make you a happy bot user. Okay, and then we have action number 4. Action number 4 is going to be used by the robot to refresh the browser with a new URL every single time that the loop works. Then we have, if the web page contains, remember, this is the trigger for the robot to make sure that he is uploading and working with the correct URLs profiles. If there is no keyword on the web page, he's going to skip this part and move forward to the next URL. Okay, actually I'm going to put just a small wait time here, just 1 second between the go to web page, between action number 4 and action number 5, just to make sure that the robot has enough time to analyze this. But other way to do this is just to make sure that I don't know, we could be capturing another element and just for the robot to wait for the element to upload. That usually works better, to be honest. Let's see. Then we have action number 7. We are going to get the attribute of the document name, the whole name that we have here. Okay, this is the whole value that we are going to extract with the robot. Then the robot will be clicking on this document, right, if there is any. Hopefully, if not, he's going definitely to break, because at this point we haven't built the robot like to be unbreakable. So he's going to break if there is no file or if he cannot click on a document. Then the robot will be waiting for the file to be saved in or be moved automatically or downloaded automatically into the folder that we have at the right. Action number 10, the robot will be pressing this button that we have here, update resume. Once pressed, it will be clicking another button that it's choose file, and this button will be opening a new window to get the file that we need to upload, and that's when the action number 12 come to action. Right, because he will be now populating the name of the file on that action. We need actually to change this value, and this is the value that we're going to use. The file path with the name is the value that the bot needs to populate in this action to extract, or actually not extract, but to get the correct file every single time. Okay, let's save it and actually save it. Then action number 13 is going to press the button on that window to upload the file, and if everything runs smoothly, we are going to see the final message that says you rock, and we are going to be able to see the file uploaded successfully into the candidate window. So let's close here and let's test the solution right now. Let's run this puppy. All right, we are testing the solution. Okay, get attached to Chrome, get the list successfully, load the first candidate, wait 1 second, look for the keyword, download the file, make sure that the file is downloaded, click on resume, fill the value of where the file is. Okay, so as you can see, there was one miss action, that is upload file. So now we need to add another action just to make sure that the robot upload that file successfully. Let's stop this robot and let's add that action. Let's take a look, which we can just clean the search action box, press button, press button from web form filling. Okay, let's move this here. Let's select with Control and the left mouse click here. Let's make sure that we have that option. Okay, upload file and save. Okay, now I'm going to save this by myself just to check if there is any other value that we need to make sure that there is not going to appear and surprise us. Upload file. Awesome. So once you click that, that file gets uploaded automatically into the profile. A loading resume message is appearing while the files is getting uploaded into JAZZHR. How long is it gonna take? I don't know. Do we have to wait for the file to be completed? I don't know that neither. But the thing is that at some point the robot was waiting. There is no resume. There is no resume keyword on the screen, and that's probably the best way to go right now. To go by there is no resume, um, validate that the message or the keyword there is no resume is no longer appearing into the web. So let's add that to the robot that we have right now. Okay, but instead of using a web page contains, we are going to use wait for web page content. And in this case, we are going to use, you see that it says, well, this action wait for web page content. Actually, we are going to use this one, not contain text. And we are going to make sure that there is no resume. Or instead we are going to use like loading resume, contain text, loading resume. So once this is going to trigger the robot that once this the web page is showing the loading resume message, it can move forward and upload the next resume for the next candidate. So let's click save. And now we are going again to the last part, which is going to test the whole automation solution. Okay, so let's finish the test of this solution. You don't know how many times I have tried to complete this. I have kids at home. They are just getting into the office. They still doesn't understand that I'm working and trying to create something, and I need actually to make this done because we need to, the recruiters from the team needs to review a lot of candidates right now, and lots of them doesn't have the curriculum or the resume uploaded correctly. So I need to build this solution for uh, my own business, and it has taken me a lot of time, but it's really and well invested time to create this kind of content. So long story short, I have added a couple of actions here just to instead of using the press button in window, I mean the press button on web page to press the upload file. I tested a few seconds ago and it didn't work. So I'm changing that action for the same action that we were using here. I saw that here we're using the click link action, so we are going to use it here as well, and hopefully this time is going to work smoothly. So once he upload the file, I added, well, we added this action to wait for the text loading resume, which appeared on JAZZHR when you are uploading a file. But even though the file is uploaded, it doesn't refresh like easily. So the only way to overcome that is that once we are seeing the loading resume message, the program will be using, I mean, Power Automate Desktop will be using the Action 16. It will be reloading, right, the URL, and then we are going to check if we have the message loading resume. If we don't have it, we are going to move forward to the last action or effective action, action 18, in which we are going to get our message that we rock as RPA developers, and the robot is working at least 80% right now of what he should be doing. That 20% that I'm saying that we don't have at this moment developed is because this bot as it is can be totally improve. It can be enhanced. We can make it bulletproof. We can make it to send us an email notification. We can send it. We can make it to take a screenshots just to confirm that the CV was uploaded correctly and save that as an evidence. And if we doesn't have it, we can review and work on those as well or run the robot. I mean, the possibilities are endless here. So, but let's finish this and let's run this robot. So remember that the robot will be getting attached to Chrome, extracting all the URLs that we have right now. He will be loading one URL at a time. If the URL has a CV, he's not going to work with that curriculum. Okay, we found one. He's uploading the correct file. Perfect. Now the click link action is working. You have successfully uploaded the curriculum. And we rock. Awesome. Now let's click OK. Let's go to the next URL. Perfect. As you can see, it's working smoothly. We are successfully uploading the resumes. There is no message when we are getting into the page. Let's take a look. Yes, correctly. So go to web page, loading resume. Probably a couple of actions, just wait times or more, like wait for some specific element into the web page can help us as well. Okay, let's continue. Upload. Perfect. So as you can see, I can be here and I don't need to do this manually. If I want to, I only have to press the enter and he will continue with the next URL. I mean, this is how you build a really smooth and beautiful robot. I hope guys that this help you a lot. But as you can see, it is working perfectly right now. So I'm going to just we're going to close this training session for today, but this is beautiful. I mean, I'm super happy with the final result because I really need it. And then the rest of the team can work with the documents that has been uploaded successfully. Appreciate that you are still here. It has been like more than 60 minutes and we have been reviewing different actions, different ways of tackle a problem, how to automate a robot that is capable to interact with JAZZHR ATS. This has been a really great session for me. It has been taking a lot of time to create this content, so give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. I will try to come out with more content similar like this, probably small sections just for a couple of few actions and techniques and best practices that I use on a daily basis, because this is part of my business. I build solutions for clients around the globe. I train corporates. I train other peoples or people that is starting on this development solutions with RPA, especially with Power Automate Desktop. So again, thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. Right? Well, thank you and see you on our next episode. Bye.